Get down, people. It's Crossing Lines here on a Tuesday. And boy, do we have a show lined up for you just like every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for watching. All the comments and absolutely love it. Me, I'm Donnie Rightside. He is Jeff Nadu, and we are Crossing Lines, and away we go on a Tuesday. Jeff, ready to kick it off. By the way, Jeff, 7/14/2026. I'm going to ask you about the date in a second, but in 4 days, some teams will start to report to training camp in the NFL, and away we go. But July 14, 2026, in Jeff Nadu's universe, what is it?
Well, 1 year ago today, I flew on a plane, which...
First time ever. Never been on a plane before, right?
No, I was on a plane a few times, but it was always... Nobody had ever seen me on one, so I never did it, right? No, I went to Disney World when I was a kid. I went to San Diego. I went to San Antonio. I've been all sorts of places. I've been to Vegas. I rode on a plane with you.
Yeah, I saw it live.
You and I were in the same row. We went to Vegas together. Where else? I've been to Chicago for the company that said I never flew. Look, I'm not going to say I'm a world traveler, Donnie, but I've been on a plane at least 10 times in my life.
There you go. Did you fly to West Virginia for the fight, or did you drive down there?
No, we had to drive because there's no. I think Charleston is a small airport, so I would have had to went to Pittsburgh and then flew. But no,
it would have been a longer day.
You talk about an insane drive that was. That is the weirdest place I've ever been in my life.
Was it Huntington? State. Where was it actually?
It was in Charleston, which is
that's right.
South West Virginia.
Yeah.
And it was for like 2 hours. It was real creepy, man. Like Deliverance type shit, you know. I'll never forget. We went to like a one of those truck stop type, like gas station diner type places.
Sure.
Bizarre. I mean, it was bizarre, man. Weird.
They got some crazy
thing.
stuff. Yeah, they're big. Those Love's truck centers there. You got Flying J, I think, is the guy that owns the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
Jimmy
this
Haslam
was like
big on that stuff. Buc-ee's, all that good stuff.
Yeah, this was like, I don't think one of those. It was like more of like a local group, but yeah, it was a weird place. But yeah, I've been on a plane many times. That was just obviously lure because of the things that had happened with somebody canceling the flight, and it was just. Yeah, it was messy.
Yeah. Nadu flew 1 year ago today, but today, Jeff, we have we're going to get to it, a monster World Cup game. We're going to bring on Flash Watson, great guest. Love to have him to go over that, and also get maybe a preview as well for England that is going to take on Argentina. But last night was the All-Star Game. Home Run Derby. Tonight is the All-Star Game. We're going to continue, Jeff, with our list today to the Sopranos yesterday and also top 5 college quarterbacks. But today, you saw the thumbnail there as well, Jeff. We're going to do top 5 NFL quarterbacks, and we got some discrepancies that once we get there, Jeff, we're going to air it out. I love that, man. I love to get these lists going here, get the people ready.
Yeah, I think the list is pretty straightforward, personally. And for anyone who doesn't know, like a lot of the times before the season, these big publications do their top NFL players, top 100, NFL execs, ranks, that sort of thing. It is still amazing to me, though, real quick. I know we're not going to talk about this guy when we get into our rankings, but it is fascinating to me how low a lot of these lists have Jalen Hurts, right? Like a lot of people, look, if we're talking about winning, right?
Yes.
Very few quarterbacks in the NFL have won like Jalen Hurts.
Correct.
Like you have a guy on our top 5 list who, Donnie, has never been to the Super Bowl.
Yes,
yet
correct.
Some people say he's the greatest quarterback in the NFL. So it's, but then what's funny is, to get to the Hall of Fame, do you know what you have to do, Donnie? A lot of the time,
win Super Bowls.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Get
Like
it down.
Dan
You want to be
Marino.
the Dan Marinos or the Charles Barkleys. It's much easier to say, hey, that guy was a 2-time Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl MVP. That'll get you there. With so much lost in the sauce ingredients in football is how you play in the biggest moments. And again, Jalen Hurts isn't in my top 5. Oh, Donnie, Eagles. Yeah, exactly. I'm not a homer. I'm not just going to put Jalen Hurts number 1 because he wins more. But same thing with Nick Sirianni. He's a horrible coach. You ever check that guy's record out? Not very many people in NFL history have won like him. And also, Jeff, I did see something going around yesterday with one of the Dallas beat writers. Like, oh, well, the reason why Hurts wins is because he has a really good football team. Newsflash, who wins with a shit football team?
Yeah. It's so dumb. And look, I just never have understood the hate with Jalen Hurts. Look, I will say, when the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts, it did not make sense at the time, right? Because you'd just given Carson Wentz a ton of money.
Correct.
And I went viral with that. I had a wild reaction. However, when we look at what he has done in the NFL, matriculated into being, like, he's a great guy. It's not like he's like one of these diva type players. He's not in the spotlight really. All he's really done is won. Look, he's had his lumps just like a lot of others, but he gets way more shit than like someone like a Lamar Jackson who, what the hell has he ever won? How many times has he not played a full season? How many times has he struggled to throw the football?
In the playoffs.
So, yeah, I think the hate is unwarranted. Look, Nick Sirianni can be a little irritating, but again, another guy who wins. I just think it's people like to hate on certain teams, and the Eagles have been hated on. The organization, though, has just won.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this season. We got a lot of breakdowns, a lot of previews coming. Tomorrow, Jeff, also a little teaser, top 5 NFL teams going into the season for 2026. Yeah, we're going to kick off a lot of really good stuff here. But, Jeff, the breaking news last night, the All-Star Game was in Philadelphia. Let's start here, too. It was on Netflix, and me coming into the All-Star Game festivities, I don't really like them all that much, but it's in Philadelphia. Harper's in it, Schwarber's in it, so I'm going to watch. I thought it would be a bad home run competition because the clock wasn't there to keep everybody on schedule. I got to tell you, Jeff, stayed up, watched the entire thing. Now, did I have it on in the background sometimes while I'm playing a little Battlefield 6 and having some fun? Yes. I enjoyed it last night, and I'm surprised to say that. I wanted to be a hater, Jeff, and hate it. I liked it.
Well, it seems like a lot of people enjoyed it. Yeah. I heard a lot of people saying, wow, I was surprised by this.
Correct.
Donnie, they always say change is good occasionally. Sometimes when you let your inhibitions go, you have the best time. There's been a lot of times, Donnie, right, where, and I'll go back to the flu thing, right? Like flying does scare me a bit, okay? And maybe there were certain times where like maybe I just didn't do something because I was a little scared, right? But anytime that I've taken a shot and actually went and did something, it was so fun. Sometimes you have to let your inhibitions go. And last night, a lot of you thought, I'm not watching this. I don't like change. I will say with baseball, they've done a pretty good job with the changes they've made, right? I mean,
great job.
Right. Whether it be the pitch clock, whether it be just a little tinkering.
DH.
Baseball needed to be changed. Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of, did I watch? No. But, I didn't even know who Jordan Walker was until last night. My guy finished dead last.
Nice.
Guess he didn't do too well, but that's pretty cool. We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Jordan Walker makes $1 million, which, after taxes, it's going to be right around what he makes. That's a nice little cash injection.
See, his grandmother was there, and his father and his mother there, all wearing his jerseys. Yeah, good stuff. I thought the presentation was good. A lot of people are going to knock Netflix. Oh, I hate L. Duncan. I hate Barry Bonds. I hate Paul Holtz and do this. Now, sometimes they get a little tricky with the cameras. I get it. But overall, the event is only as good, Jeff, as the participants. I thought they were fantastic on a whole scale. Only as good as the backdrop. In Philadelphia, on a beautiful night, the crowd was rocking all the way through. And you need a feel-good story from the hometown crowd, which was Bryce Harper, who didn't make the round number 2, but it was Kyle Schwarber who made it into the final. I thought that was good. And then you had the performance of, hey, can you step into that, lion's cage and try to do some damage when the home crowd saw what Schwarber did in the championship round, and then Jordan Walker goes in and just says, you know what, I'll handle my business from here on out. You had every bit of what you wanted to watch last night. Long home runs, a lot of home runs, and it didn't feel like it went on too long. Thought it was a big win for Major League Baseball last night.
It's good for them because, again, they've made some good changes. Yep. A lot of people were negative towards it. Maybe the NBA should take a little bit of a look at this and say, well, how do we do this type of thing? Yes. Donnie, I did see also a lot of people bringing up, something that, could be a little touchy. Some people say that the MLB has a lack of major black players. Is that something do you think that helps?
Well, I don't know if it helps or hurts, to be honest. I don't care
a lot of people mention
where the players come from. They do mention it. And there was a lot more, by the way, black players 20, 25, 30, and 40 years ago here, which now they're starting to go to other sports and play that, where you see the RBI programs about, trying to get inner city youth back into it here, because you do want here's what you want, Jeff, right? The representation for everybody. Like what made, the WWE fantastic is they said, all right, we're going to get somebody from every single nationality that you can cheer for at this point. That's all you want to, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a black kid in an inner city neighborhood and you see one of the guys like Jimmy Rollins, who came straight from Oakland, do well, do you know what you want to do, Jeff? Hey, Dad, I think I want to play baseball. It's that simple. It really is.
And that's my point in something like this. This is a big event, regardless of how you look at it. And, Look, baseball is a great sport. Baseball is what I think a lot of people hope soccer can be someday, which it never will be. But yeah, I think a great way to get to people. Look, in the summer, kids are off school. Baseball is a great throw in. You do get injured, but it's not like where you have to get hit by another player.
CTE.
Look, you can make a lot of money doing it. I thought it was nice to see it. And look, you mentioned the family stuff. That's awesome. Donnie, I know that I'm going to say something I think is important. Okay. And I've seen this a lot recently. I think it's terrific for sports. Do you know what I noticed? And I talked about this during the NBA draft. We saw it last night. Okay. Really, where you look at it, we see it all the time when a player joins the MLB for the first time. His family's there, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I've seen a lot of? Nuclear families, fathers, mothers. That is the most important thing to our society, period, in this country. If we get back to that, it's a nice start on where we can be someday. And I'm talking more about from a life standpoint.
Yep, family support. Always, you can always go home, Jeff, as they like to say.
Yes, and you are existentially more likely to have a good, solid, good life if you have a father and a mother in your life. And it's great to see young people have that. Jordan Walker, very cool story. I root for him. I hope he does well.
Jump down a step here. I'm going to get to soccer in a moment here. All-Star Game, Jeff, set for 8 p.m. tonight. Dylan Cease is going to be the starter for the American League and Christopher Sanchez for the National League. I thought it was very well presented yesterday. Philadelphia's put on a very good show. I'll watch tonight because, again, soccer's in the afternoon. Baseball is tonight. Your gauge, I want to say, for the All-Star Game tonight. In your background, you're watching it. We're going to go over some ins and outs of the games, but by myself, I don't have edges on the All-Star Game, but I do think some of the numbers are very interesting here, though. But how about your All-Star Game level of excitement for you, Jeff Nadu?
So the only thing I ever legitimately bet on from an All-Star Game standpoint is I do bet the over seemingly every year in the NBA All-Star Game. Yeah. Now, again, that's changed a little just with how they do it now. But yeah, in something like this, it's completely irrelevant to look at any of these things. I will point out, did you see that idiotic tweet yesterday?
From what?
I think he's one of your old pals, Donnie. Jared Smith, isn't that one of your old?
I did see it yesterday. Yes.
One of the, and I'm just, I never sugarcoat it. One of the worst accounts on Twitter, just horrific. This guy has turned into one of the worst accounts, and I said it. He didn't say it. I said it. This guy sucks. One of the worst things. I hate these people, Donnie, that always have to try to shame people for what they bet on. If you bet on Little League, you're a real degenerate. It's like, hold on a second. Okay. Number one,
bet on pool. You bet on table tennis.
Sports betting is about an edge. If you have an edge, you should bet it. Now, there are some people, like I've bet Summer League. Okay. I feel that my grasp of the players, knowing the players, understanding what teams are better than the others, I think I have a small edge. It's not much. But if someone looks at the MLB All-Star Game tonight and finds an edge, who the hell are you to say, oh, you're a degenerate, you don't have no edge? How the hell do you know?
Yeah, I have no edge. And I'll tell you that right out. I have nothing. But if you have something where it's like, hey, man, I heard this guy's going to groove a fastball to this guy in the second inning and away you go, or you see something out there. Because for me, Jeff, I always call it betting in a vacuum. If I don't know which pitcher is going to face which batter inning by inning, I don't have anything. But you can still be like, hey, you know what? Put some pizza money down here and there. I get it. For me, I have zero edge. But if you want to go out there, I might ridicule you, but it's not me. It's your money. You do whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I've always had a problem with the way people, like, again, I think you should be responsible always. But, like, correct. If you haven't, like, for instance, I like college football sides and totals. Some people don't. You like to bet touchdown, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Team totals.
But the whole, like, like, if I could go outside right now and my next door neighbor, I had an advantage on him beating another next door neighbor in a race. Yeah. I'm going to bet it if I have an edge, right? I just don't like the constant. And again, this account has done it multiple times. He's always the ever arcing guy on what's right in gambling and what's not. Yeah. Shut up.
You know, Beat the Bookie. I follow him. We go back and forth every once in a while. Yeah, but you know what he actually likes, though, Jeff? And he'll tell you. Under 17 youth soccer said it's fantastic handicap. Some people might say, yeah, you got to get a new life. You're going to bet that. Again, if it's listed on there. Me, I have no edge on a youth soccer 17 years old. But if you see fit, because I know, Jeff, you're bringing up these low league games in the FA Cup and Ipswich, Townville, Greenville, whoever. If you have an edge on it, good luck. Me, I have no edge, and I'll tell you right out. But hey, if you have it,
me and our guest, Flash, who comes on, I think he's about to come on in a few minutes.
He is.
Him and I used to do a show called the Lower League Show, where we would only discuss
young boys. Jeff, what league is that?
What's that? One of the Slavic countries. Young Boys is in Sweden, I think.
What a name.
But no, we would look at like League One, League Two, which is like the third and fourth levels of soccer. National League, which is like fifth level.
Yep.
But again, Flash has been in England, his whole life. He knows those leagues. He understands what matters and what doesn't. Look, find your edge. Some people are good at. For years now, I've been good at betting military schools and college football.
Yeah.
You just find what you're good at.
That's it. That's all you got to do. And by the way, today, Jeff, soccer back in a big way coming up. Flash will join us in just a few moments here, but 3 p.m. Eastern, middle of your afternoon, Spain, France, toe-to-toe, man. I love it. I do.
Yeah, Spain, this is where we learn about them, right? I mean, we obviously know they're very good. We know all year they were one of the favorites to come into this tournament. It seems like, Donnie, 6 years ago, since that Cape Verde match where they draw, they don't get a goal, they don't beat Cape Verde, we end up finding out Cape Verde's actually way better than
they are.
I think we thought the minnows that they were. We put them on the level that they were like Curacao or like Haiti, when it was like, well, no, they were actually a decent little side. Spain has not lost, Donnie, in 36 straight matches.
Incredible.
They've not lost a match. Okay. Now, again, once you get into penalties, it's a little different. But look, in these types of matches, and Flash will tell you, I mean, and this is in any sport, sometimes in a basketball game, you just have to go with what you think is the slightly better team. To handicap a game like this, look, if you're sitting here for hours trying to handicap these matches, I think you're wasting your time. Sometimes you have to just look at it and say, who is the best player on this side? Okay, we can agree across the board. In this match, the best player, Donnie, even you know who it is. It's Mbappe.
Lamine Yamal? It's not Lamine Yamal today? Come on now. Look at that picture.
Look, Yamal's terrific. He's so young, though. He's got,
By the way,
he's very good, but he's
global
not
appeal in this kid, Jeff. I don't, maybe, again, my daughter and wife love them all, and I'll tag along. I want to say that I can't remember what store it was, but Jeff, on the big screen, he is on there promoting a product. Everybody knows this kid. He's 18 years old. He plays in Spain. Amazing, man. World Cup appeal.
And you figure, I mean, how many years does he have left? 20 years? That's a long career, man.
Yep.
But I in these types of matches, I'm looking at there's little intangibles, right? Sometimes it's the player. Sometimes it's the, whatever. Spain has some really good players up front. Yep. They're good defensively. They don't have Kylian Mbappe. They don't have an Olise, a Dembele type. They're good. They're not France. I think you still have to. But look, all Spain wants to do, Donnie, is get to, if it's tied late, you want to crapshoot it up, get it to PKs. Anything can happen. We saw that with Colombia. We've seen that with that Paraguay-Germany game. Crazy things happen. It's a tight matchup, both these matchups. It's going to be great.
By the way, Jeff, let me ask you this question, because this always comes up. And again, as we get in the flash in just a few moments here, they're looking at, it's always about money, and we get it. They're looking at 64 teams in the World Cup coming up. More teams, more money, more television packages. We understand it. Now, there's a point that you don't necessarily want it watered down, but I have to tell you, the World Cup, when it's played in the summer, Jeff, just give me more games. Just give me more games. That I like it. We had, 100+ games, I guess, in this World Cup. It's expanded. I loved it. I'm sorry. I loved it.
You'd prefer that it go into August?
Yeah, I needed more. I need at least another week. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I need at least another week.
I'll give you one better.
Yeah.
Let's just do it every year.
I'm with it. You give me the World Cup at this time every year, Jeff, I'm in. I swear to God,
How about this?
I'm in.
Every 2 years. Okay,
No, rotate it. Women, men, women, men, women, men.
And you also have the Euro Cup, which is a great competition as well. So, I think you've talked a lot about, you go on these.
Say stupid. Say stupid.
You go on a very dumb rant every few weeks about this dumb daylight savings time stuff.
I love it.
Okay,
I'm telling you. I don't know why that topic wasn't in there yesterday, but we got to fit that in.
I'll give you one that I have, and I think you would agree too.
Yeah.
Summer is super boring for the most part. Okay.
You're right.
From June 10th, like you did it this year, June 10th-ish, or even June 1st.
Yeah.
Every year we should have a major soccer competition from like June 1st until like the end of July, right in time for training camp.
I'm with it.
Spaces the summer.
Yeah.
Some people aren't in for change. I agree. More teams.
Yes.
I want to see more 8-0. I want to see San Marino.
I love it. See, now I didn't expect this from you, Jeff. I didn't expect this. I am proud of you today.
Why don't we just
proud.
There are like, I think they rank about 200 teams, right, in the world. Anguilla, San Marino, Montserrat. Like, everyone has a team. Why don't we just make it every team?
You're not getting any argument out of me, Jeff. You're not. Yeah.
I mean, most of those guys don't play professionally anyway.
No, I love it. 64 team. It's terrible. And again, like Jeff loves college basketball. It's what he does the best.
I don't want to see.
Give me a couple more teams, Jeff, to play during that week. I don't get a couple games.
Right, so Donnie, I'm going to look right now before Flash comes on, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm on the FIFA rankings right now, okay?
Go ahead.
They rank from 1 to, again, bottom, which is 211 nations, right?
Wow.
Okay, do you want to hear the bottom 5 teams in the world?
Go ahead, give me them.
211th, San Marino.
Okay.
They haven't won. I think they've won one game in like 20 years. Anguilla at 210. 209th is the British Virgin Islands.
Wow, they should be better than that.
208th is the U.S. Virgin Islands.
We should be better than that.
And then 207th is Bahamas. 206th, Liechtenstein.
Wow.
205th, the Turks and Caicos. 204th, Seychelles. 203rd,
Seychelles, yeah.
203rd, Guam. 202nd, Gibraltar. 201, Timor-Leste. And 200th is Tonga.
Wow, yeah, Tonga's not getting in there. How about the reggae boys? Why aren't they win the World Cup this year? We didn't make it, Jamaica?
Who, the Bahamas? They're way better than a lot of these teams. Yeah. How about 195th, Donnie? Sao Tome and Principe. Do you know where that is?
I don't know. What do they have, 100 people in the country? What about Morocco? Does Morocco have a team?
So what we should do is essentially in like January, February, all these shit teams play each other and just like keep advancing. And by like June, it's all set.
Yeah.
But then again, they have qualifying. We should just...
Monte Carlo? That's what I wanted to say.
No, Monte Carlo is not a country. But I don't understand this because, like, so 193rd is Macau. Macau's not a country either.
It's gambling country, Jeff. It's where you go to gamble, Macau.
It's really just like essentially like a principality, if you will.
Yep.
How about the boys from Nepal, Donnie? Montserrat, Andorra.
By the way, Nepal, they'll probably get they'll have no issues playing in Mexico City up there high, Jeff. You know what I mean? They're already up in the mountains.
The boys from Kathmandu, they get down high heights, man.
There you go, man. Rocking and rolling. All right, let's get down to the
Flash
business
would
here.
not like this idea.
Flash is coming on right now. He's going to love this idea. I know he will because we're very persistent here. Let's talk some soccer World Cup action down to the semifinals.
Look at him.
Flash Watson at Flash _37. He's shaking his head yes, not no. He's doing it in reverse. The camera doesn't work. Flash, what's good?
Rewarding mediocrity.
Yes. Come on.
Not mediocrity.
Crap out. It's the pinnacle of a player's whole life that they play in the World Cup. 48 teams is too much. By the way, I hear from UEFA they're going to challenge Infantino for the next president of FIFA, which is absolutely brilliant because then we might just get a little bit more normality back. Listen, it's been a great World Cup, but 48...
So, Flash, you don't want to see Djibouti play
No, do I help? Do I help? Because I tell you what it does, Jeff, and this is what everyone glosses over. The big thing about this 48 teams is if you got beat in the 32 team system, you were going home. Now with 48 teams, you drop points. Oh, don't worry, because you're going to play some dross next week, and that'll make sure. And just in case you draw a couple of games, we're going to put forward if you come third in a group of 4. Third is second loser, not just the first loser. So, no, what it does is, and exactly what's happened, first, second, third and fourth are now playing in the semi-finals because, I don't care what anyone says, none of them have played anyone. The only meaningful games are now turning up in the semi-finals,
True.
And by the way, some of these teams, they've been a bit lucky to get to the semifinals.
Yeah, he's not wrong, and that's why Flash is great, because he will come back and give you, like, look, the truth of the matter is, like, I talked about this yesterday, Flash, with England. Like, Flash, do you actually agree that, like, when it comes like Spain, Argentina, and France, England's not on that level? I mean, they're good.
And I'm thinking Argentina's dropped down a couple of levels as well, but I think that's down to team selection, because they've got really good players, but for some reason he's going into battle with 4 complete warthogs in midfield. They are just, listen, they've got, obviously, with favourable decisions along the way. They've had the little master up front who still just flies the flag for everything that's good in football in Lionel Messi. But England have been absolutely bang average in every single game. They went to the Azteca, and why that's I still can't work out why that's not holding the World Cup final, by the way, because it's just an absolute Mount Rushmore of World Cup venues. They had 4 shots on goal, and only once in 90 minutes did they complete 4 passes, and they won 3-2 because they defended like Trojans. Then they play against Norway. They were no better than Norway, but yes, they got through, so no problem at all. And there was other things. Again, there's been too many things away from the football that's took away from the football in this World Cup.
Before we get into the game, I want to ask Flash about that England match. Flash, you would agree that the ref was horrific, right? I mean, it's really poor.
I thought it was a poor Premier League game, and the thing is, when Sorloth goes through and it's 2v1 and he's got Haaland, and by the way, Sorloth is he's playing wide right, but he's a caveman centre forward. Pull it on your left and slip it to Haaland, and you've got every chance of going 2-0 up, and it's probably game over.
Flash, I compared it, and I said this yesterday. Donnie and I talked about it. It's like when the Bulls said Michael Jordan and Judd Bushler they're on a fast break. Judd Bushler was like a bench warmer. He played like 3 minutes a game. That'd be like him not passing it to Michael Jordan. Even Randy Brown, let's say, whatever. Like, it's insane. It was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen.
Yeah, he never organised himself, Jeff. He never organised himself because he's so one-footed, and also he's a striker. But he just hasn't got that footballing brain. I tell you, I liken it to NFL maybe of the fridge Perry playing wide receiver. Yeah, he's a fish up a tree. He's not in the right place. It's rude. It's no. Listen, the game was just an average Premier League game. Norway were unfortunate. I do agree that Norway could have had a penalty. I do agree Norway had a goal disallowed, but the English one that hit the wire in again.
Well, according to FIFA, though, that didn't happen.
Yeah, but this is the other thing. But 2 games before, this is the consistency, and there's also that little bit of suspicion, because it did actually pick up the hair of the Croatian player who flicks it on. Come on now. Either you can pick up a hair or you can pick up a wire. No. But listen, don't get me started with Infantino, because Infantino sat back in his chair like he'd just been sacked when Cape Verde scored. Why the emotion? And then when the Switzerland player gets sent off, he's cheering and giving it one of them. Hold on a minute. You're impartial. Infantino's not Argentinian. He's not Swiss. I can understand if he's national side, national country. He can, obviously, you're going to have that 51-49, but you're meant to be impartial. The whole of this World Cup has not been impartial. 1, 2, 3, and 4 meeting in the semis stinks.
I mean, Gianni Infantino, Donnie, you know what country he's from, right?
It sounds like Italy. Is that it?
Well, yeah. I won't connect it to a certain criminal subculture there, but I will.
Where's he from? Avellino, Sicily?
I think he magnifies it that he's from Switzerland, but that's an Italian name. He's from Italy.
Yeah,
just saying.
What about
today,
he's rude.
Flash? He's got to go. He's got to go. So
I think
it's
he's
as simple
great,
as
Flash,
that.
by the way. He expands to 100-plus teams. Costa Rica gets in there.
Yeah, but you're all right, Donnie, because you haven't paid to go to one of them games. You've sat at home and watched him on Sky.
Donnie, maybe I could go, though, if the lower levels are in there. We could play like the high school fields, Flash.
Donnie, if it was free to get in, because there's the other one, the cost.
Donnie could get on San Marino. He played when he was a kid. You could get on San Marino, Donnie. Seriously.
I could still play. They have a beautiful stadium in San Marino.
Flash would be the top scorer on San Marino.
Oh, now he would be, yeah.
Yeah. At 86, he would be the top scorer.
85. It's not my birthday this week. It's yours.
By the way, Flash, Argentina, Spain, France, England. I love it. You don't like it. I love it for ratings because I'm a novice here in this. But if
Who
you would
did
have
these
asked
ratings?
me, what's that?
Are these meant 1, 2, 3, 4? Are they meant to mean anything?
I don't think so, Flash, because Argentina is nowhere near Spain or France. How about that?
Oh, they're the World Cup ratings prior to the start of it. Okay,
I believe so. Yeah.
What do we got today, though, Flash? You got France, you got Spain. You take a look, plus 145 on France, plus 220 if you want Spain here. The tie, plus 200. Are we getting a clean sheet today? Are we playing a little bit back? Because I know you've liked France, but also a little bit upset with France, not really putting that pedal to the metal at times. What do we get today? Two fantastic world-class teams teeing off in the middle of the afternoon here in the United States.
Yeah, first of all, you're sitting and you're going to eat in a Michelin restaurant, unlike tomorrow when you're going to go with a diner on the side of the highway. No, France have been head and shoulders above, and I tell you, there's a couple of beautiful things about them. There's that as soon as a player breaks sweat and looks a little bit tired, they come off and they're replaced by players that would get in nearly every other side in world football. They have just done enough. They've been and teams, they try and sneak players on the pitch to try and frustrate. No, France are better than Spain. People say, but Spain beat France last time they played in the Nations League. People have just glossed over the fact that, first of all, France have not been beaten in 3 World Cups, not beaten over 90 minutes. Secondly, all of these players for France were 22 in the last World Cup. They're now 26 and reaching their peak, not reached it. So again, 2 players for every position, and they've got too much pace. This is all about how Spain want to play this game. Because if France take Tchouaméni or Rabiot, jump all over Rodri, you cut the head off the snake, and France will win this game and probably score 2 or 3, because this is the biggest. This is the worst. Put up, shut up, go big or go home. So they've got to keep going. And the more they go, the more that France will hit them on the break. France cannot allow Spain to dictate this game. Spain did beat France 5-4 in the Nations League, but there was no Koundé, no Upamecano, no Saliba. So please don't go back, because these players are hitting their peak. They're not even at their peak, and they are by far better than Spain. Now, contradiction. Spain are the only team. The winner of the World Cup comes out of this game. Spain are the only side that could, not will, but could beat France. I've actually bet Spain plus 350 to win the World Cup, because all my eggs are in the French basket. So I've got France from before the tournament started. So now I've gone with Spain to win the World Cup at plus 350. Either way, I think I'm a winner.
Well, that's a great point by Flash with the whole thought that this is essentially the World Cup final. But then again, they look at it and say, well, like Infantino's like creaming in his drawers thinking about Argentina and France. Like he would do anything for that. Like if England and Spain win, like he probably wouldn't even attend the final.
He'd go to the third place game.
Yeah, he'll be in the Alps somewhere skiing or something. Look, Flash, I said earlier, I don't know if you heard, I think you would agree. Sometimes in games like this, you just have to go. And look, I think France is better too. I agree with you. But Spain does not have a Mbappe. They just don't. Like Yamal's a tough kid. He's obviously very good. He'll be great someday. Maybe he'll even eclipse Mbappe someday. But up front, I just don't think there's a comparison. I think also, though, my concern, and I look at more from a betting standpoint, how many people, I mean, the whole world's on France, right? And at some point, we're starting to see these bookmakers are starting to find ways like the whole world was on that England over the other day, and somehow that didn't come in. I just think the concern is how many people are on it. I mean, would you consider a draw 90 minutes?
Yeah, of course, because that's the only way Spain are going to win.
Yeah.
But I have maybe Spain only having 3 or 4 players as good as they've been, because they haven't been anything better than a 7.5 out of 10. But as a team, and they've not beaten anyone, even though Spanish people, and I have obviously Paco on my show, he says, we've had the hardest route. No, they haven't got 3 players that would get in the French lineup. Nearly every single French player. I think the French have 2 weaknesses, if you're talking about weaknesses, and that's their left back and their right back. So will Spain exploit that? Because Yamal, even though he's favourite for Young Player of the Year, he hasn't turned up yet. We have not seen anywhere near the best of him. In fact, the young player is probably sitting at the back for Spain in the young 19-year-old. So again, France, if they jump all over Rodri, then France win this game. If Spain go behind and then start chasing the game, I liken Spain as an upper-class Liverpool. They're great on the front foot, they're great going forward, but their turnaround, their recovery pace, they'll be chasing shadows. The pace of France is just too much.
Flash, I'm going to take a shot here. 1-1 exact score, plus 500. The goal scorers, Dembele and Yamal. And I think we see France advance. They'll score in extra time and win. It won't go to penalties. That's what I'm going to say happens.
See, this is where I'm going to confuse people, and they're going to be like, hang on a minute, has he done that? I've gone with Spain at plus 350 to win the World Cup, just because my main and everything has always been on France. I think France win 3-1 because I think France get ahead.
What's ahead?
I think France, but it might be late on, when Spain are actually, it could be 2-1 with 2 minutes to go in the 95th minute, a corner for Spain, keeper comes up, and it might just be an Mbappe or a Barcola or one of the boys that come off the bench who runs and puts it into an empty net and just wraps up the game 3-1. A little bit we see with Argentina and Switzerland. I just hope that all 22 players stay on the field. Unders with cards. Neither of these two have got a nasty bone in their body because they're all footballers.
I like to see it here. By the way, both teams to score in this game. Yes, minus 168. No, a plus 132. Of course, Mbappe is the favorite to score a goal. That's a 3 p.m. game this afternoon, and Flash has told you all tournament long it's been France. Flash expects France to win again today, but tomorrow, England and Argentina. Messi finally going to go up against the Three Lions, and as Flash said, you're going to be dining at a Michelin restaurant today. Then you're going to the diner, which is the Waffle House tomorrow, Flash. 3 p.m. also. Messi, Kane. How does that go down?
Horribly. I couldn't pick a winner here because I think that you've got to also take into account the oxygen tanks are nearly on low to empty on both sides here. We've got not fit formations at the back for England. We've got 4 hod carriers in midfield that have created very little outside of what Messi does. For some reason, they want to play too aggressive. The best bet for me in this game is Argentina, because now yellow cards have all gone back to 0. So if you get a yellow card in this game, you don't miss the final potentially if your team goes through. I think at plus 215, Argentina will look to boot England all over. I think that they'll outnumber them. There'll be tackles. Kane and Bellingham will get late. But don't worry, because England will fight back. I think this is a horrible trenches type game. If you pick a winner here, Donnie, yeah. I cannot say you're wrong. That's anyone. If you said it's a draw, I cannot say you're wrong because all 3 outcomes are possible. England, I don't know. I like 2-2, but I like cards Flash, more. Yeah.
It's funny you can't come up with something because I have a 2-unit play. Okay. Biggest play in this tournament.
Wow.
It's not been a great one. At times I've had some great calls. Sometimes I've not had some great calls. Both teams to score.
Oh, yeah.
Minus 120 at BetUS.
Is that what it is?
Boom.
Minus 120?
Boom, yes.
You could see that in the first half. I think this game's 2-2. Because
Flash, we have to discuss England defensively is a disaster. They're not good.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't think Argentina is any great chicks either. There's plenty of quality up front. We know that with Messi, Bellingham, Harry Kane. There's options there. Defensively, these teams are dreadful.
Yeah, well, everyone's scored against them. They've hardly kept a clean sheet. I mean, we're talking about the likes of Jordan scoring against Argentina, but Argentina just find a way, and sometimes it's wrote in the stars, and sometimes decisions go your way. That's nothing to do with the players that are playing. I'm just seeing that this game is so tight to call on a money line. I believe that both teams score an over. That's going to be plus money as well. I'd probably go that way and think that one of them tries to find a winner, or the 2-2 you've already cashed. But this is a horrible in the trenches game where for the first 20 minutes, there could be potential red cards, but they won't give them. But you'll be like, oh my God, because the 4 boys in the middle of the park for Argentina will try and stamp their authority. Let's not go down the route of all the history of this matchup. We have David Beckham being sent off. We have the hand of God. We have England always playing against Argentina, and then we have Beckham scoring to put Argentina out. These two sides do not like each other, and Argentina's way to just basically push England off the rails, if they need to be pushed off the rails anymore, because defensively they're all over the shop, is to stamp all over them. Yellow cards for Argentina for me.
Love to see it at this point here. FIFA Golden Boot winner, still the favorite's going to be Kylian Mbappe at a minus 165 price. The guy in second right here odds-wise is Lionel Messi at a plus 165. The Flash been telling you all tournament. Again, it's always France that you have to worry about. France is the favorite to lift the World Cup, and possibly they do that. But Flash, in I guess your home region, I want to say as well. You know what you love, Flash? It's a good Open Championship here, and that's what's coming up this week. So before we get you out of here, talk a little golf here. Royal Birkdale and Scotty Scheffler, coming into the season, I said, would not win a major. He's got one chance left to win a major. He's still the favorite here, Flash. But is he your favorite this weekend at Royal Birkdale?
Yeah, he is. He missed the cut for the first time in 4 years last week at the Scottish. And it's the biggest price he's been since the Open about 4 years ago as well. Everything that's going to go on at Royal Birkdale this weekend is going to play into the strengths. Now, he's still got to go and play, and he's got to execute. But the firm and fast at Royal Birkdale is trouble for everybody, but it's fair. It doesn't look like to be a wave preference. So if you're going out in the morning or going out in the afternoon, you're going to get roughly the same conditions over the 2 days. The only downside for me is I've got to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning to watch every ball get hit. But it is the best when you get these conditions on this type of course with these types of players. It's one of those where you remember where you were for 4 days. I'm rooting for Scotty. He's at like 700, 725.
Yeah.
But there's also great prices in the top 20 market, top 10, top 20. The accuracy is what you're going to need. Don't go for bombers, because a lot of them, you're not going to take driver off the tee. You're going to take irons, which then takes away the sort of the big benefit or the big weapons of your Rory McIlroy, your Wyndham Clark, who's just won the US Open. So this is a real level playing field. If it's a level playing field, give me the world number one.
World number one there. Jeff, any golf talk for you out here? You interested in a little Royal Birkdale here, the last Open Championship, the final major of the summer?
No.
There you go. That's Jeff on golf
But
right
Flash
there.
Get into it, you know.
Yeah.
You
Flash
should get into
knows.
it.
Flash is the best at golf. I love listening to him on football. He's great. If people do like golf, and that's what's important. I don't personally like it. I'll probably watch. I don't know what I'd watch over this, but yeah.
Morning stuff too, Jeff. You're not a morning guy.
You got the final of the Open on Sunday, followed by the World Cup final.
Yep.
So Scheffler and France. Oh, come on.
Look at that, a little parlay winding up, Flash, but that's why we love you, man. Monster soccer game today, monster soccer game tomorrow. By the way, one quick thing before we get you out of here. Do you like the third place game of the World Cup? And what the heck is the mindset of the people playing the third place game when they know they could be playing in the final, Flash?
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I've got to cover it, but I don't like it. You don't know who's going to play. Some players haven't even played a minute on the bench. Oh, let's say we played at the World Cup. When the World Cup's over, go. No, not for me. Come on, man. It's like the exhibition games and all that. I've got no time for your All-Star games of normal games at around 220 in the NBA, but in the All-Star games, it's 340. Do one. I've got no time I'm a busy man. I need entertaining. And as far as edges go, and I just go back to what you were saying at the beginning of the show, 95% of people, they wouldn't know what an edge is.
There you go. That's Flash Watson here on a Tuesday afternoon, getting ready for those World Cup semifinals and into the finals. Flash, we love you. We'll have you back on again. Thank you for joining us here on a Tuesday.
See you Friday, boys.
There you go. Flash will be back Friday. We're going to take a quick break and bust those lists out, because I'm going to tell you what the deal with Lamar Jackson is next. Flash Watson there, having some fun, talking a little golf here. By the way, morning golf overseas, Jeff, with the Open Championship because of the time difference here. You want to stay up late and watch the opening tee? You want to wake up in the morning, have your coffee, and see the guys finish? That's what we get out of that product. But, Jeff, when the lists come out, we got to talk about him here. So let's start right now. Lamar Jackson has always been a hot topic in the NFL. Great quarterback, multi-time MVP. Something just doesn't work when we get to the playoffs. But look at this tweet here. Ari Mirov. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson was ranked 69th in the top 100 as voted by the players. You know where he was last year, Jeff? Yeah, check the tweet. Number 2 overall. 67 spots from the players have dropped him down, Jeff. How about that?
That's ridiculous. I mean, look, I can understand, you don't want to put him in, let's say, top 3 NFL quarterback, something like that. But I had a hard time, Donnie, and I'm being honest, coming up with, to me, 5 great elite quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson has his issues, okay? Whether it be from a passer, whatever, he's not durable enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But when you look at him, he has a skill set that's still very difficult to deal with. He's been an MVP twice.
Yes.
You look at the fact that he's had 6,522 rushing yards with at least 1,000 passing yards. I mean, it's what he's done from that standpoint is really impressive. And I look at his passing. I feel like he has really tinkered his game and gotten better. Again, though, he has durability issues, but there's no. He's a top 5 quarterback, period. If you try to sell me that he isn't, how does that equate to him being the 69th best player in the NFL? I don't know.
Players know ball. They know. Now, granted, this for me coming at a perspective, we're going to take a look at the top 10 quarterbacks here as it was listed by ESPN. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, number 5, Dak, Justin Herbert, Drake May, Jared Goff, and also Caleb Williams. That's what ESPN has. But understand this. There's no hate on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, when it's all said and done, Jeff, is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. There's nobody questioning that. Entering into this 9th year, starting to slow down a little bit, which all football players do, particularly if you're built on your legs with how many shots you take on a year-to-year basis. Has a new head coach coming in. So if you are not a top 5 quarterback, which I don't think he is, he's not a top 20 guy I'm going to put him at 22. He's still worth his weight to the Baltimore Ravens, which is why they have him, won't trade him, and pay him his money. But for me, he's just not a top 5 quarterback. Now, when you take a look at some of the statistics that are around, go ahead, Jeff. What do you got?
But my question to you would be is I think you can agree in certain aspects, the top 4 of this list, you can put one over the other or whatever, right? That's all agreeable. But who are you putting over Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, I'll get to it. Okay. Yeah, okay. I got my list that's going to have it. But just the statistics that are not just when you look at Lamar Jackson, he's a good football player. And yes, you can bring up the playoff games, 3 and 5 overall. And some of those games were absolutely his fault why they didn't advance. And also, what the hell were they doing with their offensive coordinators where it's hey, we run the football, now we're just going to pass the football, and Lamar can't do that in the playoffs. Let's get around that here. But some of those statistics that aren't just how many yards and passes. He played 13 games last year, so he was a qualified quarterback. And if we're looking at some of those metrics that aren't just, hey, if you look at him, he's a good football player, and you try to get analytics, Jeff, a lot of the stuff doesn't go in his direction. And again, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He's just not top 5 for me. QBR rating from last year, 9th. That's not bad. It's just not top 5. Then you get into some of the statistics, Jeff, which some people don't really follow, but they're easily and widely available in, let's just say, ESPN. The PAA, which is the number of points contributed by a quarterback, accounting for QBR and how much he plays above the level. You know what Lamar Jackson was, Jeff? 16th in the NFL last year. You take a look at his plays and you say, what does that actually mean? Plays on which the quarterback has a non-zero expected point contribution, which means he has a positive play or a positive impact on that play. Lamar Jackson, 25th in the NFL last year. You take a look at his EPA, Jeff, which again is total expected points added with low average plays, which means how much can you excel? He was 20th in the NFL last year. You take a look at another prop called pass, and it's expected points added on passing attempts with low average plays, which means how do you line up? 22nd in the NFL. I can go on and on. His numbers just don't line up with what my expected outcome is. And also, understand this, from my Lamar Jackson perspective, Jeff, it's not coming from a stance where we're taking his whole career. I already told you, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just looking at 2026, and I don't have him as a top 5 quarterback.
Well, again, you also haven't in any of that said that he did only played 13 games last year.
He qualified, yeah, but like Joe Burrow's not even on this list because he can't even qualify for it. You have to be a qualified quarterback last year.
Okay, but let's look at the one. So he's in one. He's 1 year where he'd play 17 games. That was in 2024. Had an absolutely elite season on par with.
It was really good.
Right. It was on, and that was the season that he had a full season. It was on par with the best in the NFL, probably the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
So like, I can understand, last year, whatever, he wasn't on par. But he has gotten better. His passing's got much better. I know long-term stats, like those analytical stats you're going to bring up, it's low. But from a standpoint of as that quarterback, that season where he was at a full 17 games, you can't go against what he did that year. Throw in 2023 even. I mean, he was just as good that year. That 23-24 run by him, and we'll see what he does this year. Look, most of these guys, if Joe Burrow is completely healthy, Donnie, he might be the most talented quarterback in the NFL.
I'll give you that.
Two of these guys in Burrow and Lamar both have extremely interesting skill sets, right? But again, durability's been a problem. We've talked about Joe Burrow's problems in the first couple of games of the season. We've talked about the fact that Joe Burrow in 6 seasons has played 10 games or less in 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Those are issues. But when fully healthy, which when I look at who the best quarterbacks are and what they've done over the body of their career, that's how I'm ranking them. But let's get into our list.
Yeah, no, let's get into the list. And again, just pointing that out, Donnie's a hater. No, how can you hate on somebody going to the Hall of Fame who I know has been an unbelievable quarterback that I'm just looking at 2026 and saying, he's just not in my top 5. So let's get to the top 5. We're going to start with Jeff Nadu here, Jeff. And your number 5 is?
Lamar Jackson.
There you go, okay.
Yeah, I can't make the case that
I got you.
There's a quarterback better than him above the top 4 better than him. But I like Dak Prescott. I always have. I think people have been far too down on him. I think he's a way better quarterback than people give him credit for. I like Herbert. I think Hurts should be in the top 10 personally. But to me, it was more of there was nobody that I could find that I would put above Lamar. And I think we, again, have to look at his skill set and say, the rushing stuff still makes him a very different quantifiable matchup for a team. He's still very hard to deal with. And when fully healthy, he's as good as it gets. I have seen some better performances from him from a passing standpoint. Throw in, I know that I don't really want to talk about defenses, but the last couple of years, they have just had a terrifically bad defense. And if you put up 38 points, Donnie, in a game, you should win that game. There are games where they don't win because of the defense and they can't get a stop. But when I look at Lamar Jackson, that 24-23 year was impressive.
Yeah.
I thought he was on par in 2025.
Yep.
I think he's still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Number 4, Jeff Nadu. Who is it?
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Yeah. And look, he is probably your biggest as far as durability. I just mentioned in 6 seasons, 3 of them he had 10 games or less. In 5 of those, he played 16 games or less. Now, I know the league went to more games, but all in all, he has not had that, he's not had that durability. He's had plenty of options to throw the football to. Look, when he's fully healthy, we could quantifiably say he's the best quarterback in the league. He most resembles that pocket passer, Tom Brady type, right? Yep. And look, you take away the first game or 2 of the season, he generally is elite. Though, again, we haven't seen him win anything. I think that's kind of hurt him. I just want to see him for 1 year get a full season with the weapons that he has there and a Jamar Chase. Sky's the limit. I have him at 4, but he could be 1 as far as talent level.
Yeah.
He is
and
that
wideouts
good
to deal with, and he's got a bad defense, which means he can put up stats. The only question with him, you're right, Jeff. Protect the guy, man. He takes a beating back there.
Look, Donnie, you look at in 2024, he played 17 games, okay? 71% completion percentage, which is as good as it gets, really.
Yeah, it is.
Almost 5,000 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. That's as good a stat line as you're going to find. When he is in there, he is as good as it gets. And I can make the case that we could put him at 2, quite frankly, from a talent level. If you said to me, who just, case in point, is the best raw quarterback, I think it's probably Joe Burrow. But durability hurts him. But he's definitely top 5 for sure.
Number 3 on Jeff Nadu's list.
Matt Stafford.
Love him.
He's still lead at 38. Him and Sean McVay are as good of a carefully orchestrated ballet as you'll find. They're just impressive. He's so clutch. How many game-winning drives have we seen Matt Stafford go on? And that's why, like, when we look back at like some of their NFC title games, like, particularly against the Eagles, things like that, where, he had the opportunity. He didn't necessarily get it done. Jalen Carter made something happen. Say what you want, weather, whatever. Whether it be at Detroit, where he was on a bad team for a long time, he still put up huge numbers. He's still at 38, the top of his game, still having unbelievable seasons. There's just guys that have it. And he's, again, been in there for the most part, too. He's had good success with injuries for the most part. Just a great heralded career. Definitely number 3.
Number 2 for Jeff Nadu. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to explain to you why you could probably put Josh Allen maybe lower. Okay, we have to look at legacy at some point and say, at what point do you start winning? And I don't care that you win 11 or 12 games every year. The truth of the matter is, in 7-ish years Josh Allen's been in the NFL, he's been to the AFC title game twice. He's never been to a Super Bowl. And in one of those AFC title games, they lost by double digits and only scored 3 points. We have to talk about this stuff at some point. Again, the production's there. He's thrown to a lot of nobodies. He's a great clutch player. But I'll ask you this, Donnie.
Yeah.
When you look at Josh Allen's career, his best years were like pretty early in his career, like 2021. He's not necessarily had a season like that since. That's just what the stats tell us.
Yeah.
And say what you want, you can't put him at number 1 because he is not elevated to the level of winning. He's not even gotten to a Super Bowl.
But we're talking 2026 primarily, not like what have you done for the career?
I'm looking, I look at it as, if we look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to me, look at legacy. And that's more what I did with my list.
Yeah.
I get where you're going.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't put him above Mahomes. I still think Mahomes is the top shelf guy. At the end of the day, though, Josh Allen, again, did not get to the Super Bowl.
For you on that one, Jeff. I don't even have Mahomes in my top 5 in 2026. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I don't. I looked at
number
more of this
1. Boom!
Yeah, it's Mahomes. Mahomes is still a guy where when you look at him, I know he got injured last year. I know that maybe I know his productions maybe went down a little bit. But I looked at this list more from, like, right now in 2026, who are the best quarterbacks in the NFL overall? Legacy comes into that. What they've done comes into that. Patrick Mahomes has won many times. He's been the MVP many times.
Yeah,
he's second all-time in touchdown passes, third in passing yards. He's still extremely difficult to deal with from a standpoint of preparing for. I look at them this year and I say, well, I still don't know if they helped him a whole lot from a receiver standpoint. And what have you put your eggs into the basket of? A criminal and Rashee Rice, who may or may not at any point go to prison. You do add Kenneth Walker. That's exciting. I still look at Mahomes and say, I am a bit concerned. Big injury. He's getting a little older. But to me, Donnie, in the guts of the game, there's nobody I'd rather have than Patrick Mahomes. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I hear you about that. I hear you. I like the list.
Let's get to your list, because we could go all over the place with this. I have not seen your list either.
All right. Number 5, by the way, and number 5, not Patrick Mahomes. And you might say it again. Let me preface this by saying my list is based on 2026 and nothing else. What quarterbacks do I want in 2026 who are the top 5 quarterbacks that I need to have on my team?
When you say this, though, you still, let's say it's
hold on. But let me answer this for you before I even know the question's coming. Patrick Mahomes is probably the second best quarterback in the history of professional football. First ballot Hall of Famer, unbelievable. When he's healthy and right on good Chiefs teams, there is no quarterback I would want more. But not this year. He was bad last year.
Let me ask you.
And he's on one leg. I can't have you in my top 5, Jeff, if you're on one leg. I can't do it.
But if you're in the AFC title game, right?
Again, in the past 10, there's no quarterback outside of Tom Brady that I would want than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but let's say Mahomes comes back and he's fully healthy, right?
But he's not, though. So we can't play that way.
What do you mean he's not?
And he was bad last year before he even got injured. And this is not a great Chiefs team like we saw before. Once again, historically, he's my second best quarterback in the history of the sport. But for 2026, he's not my top 5.
Donnie, you're getting into Coach JB territory here where you say these like insane things. He's a top 5 quarterback.
Jeff,
cut it out.
Understand this. He can't move yet. It's not a good Chiefs team. He was bad last year. I say it again. The second best quarterback in the history of my list would be Patrick Mahomes all time. I don't have him this year. The Chiefs, I don't think, will be as good. He was bad last year, and he's injured coming into the season. I'm looking at 2026. I can't have a quarterback on a team that I have a downward trend on who has a bad leg injury coming back. I can't have him in my top 5.
Why do you give any other? So if let's say there's other quarterbacks in this list that'll come off of injuries. Why don't you give them the benefit of the doubt? It's Patrick Mahomes.
You haven't seen my list here on this, though.
Yeah, like again, I guarantee before the season last year, you had Mahomes in the top 5.
I would have had Mahomes number 1 last year.
So how do you go out of the top 5?
Because he has one leg this year. That's why he's out of the top 5.
There's no quarterback outside of the 5 I mentioned that's better.
If you have a running, let's just say a running back, I don't know, who tore his ACL late and he was great, he's not going to be in my top 5 this year because we don't know if he's going to be healthy. Number 5 for me, Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears. Phenomenal. The single best play caller in the NFL is his coach. You saw the magic down the stretch when it finally started to click. This guy is a bona fide superstar, and I'm expecting monstrous things this year. He makes throws nobody in the NFL can make. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, I need him on my roster this year. I need it.
He had a great season. I still think he's a little erratic. He does make some bad decisions. He is young. I mean, he is young. I think if there's one kid that I would say maybe could sniff the top 5, it would be him maybe. Like, I would pick him over Drake May. I'd pick him over Herbert. I'd pick him over a lot of guys.
I love him.
When the rubber meets the road with what I know about Mahomes and the kind of guy he is, throw in all the other guys we mentioned.
Yeah.
Maybe in 2-3 years he's there.
Yep.
And you're right. He was really good at times, but he's still, again, erratic. He does have some things. But this is the one where I would say I could maybe see it for sure.
I'm excited for the kid. Like, I didn't like him all that much coming in, but once he got Ben Johnson there, and, it doesn't come from a perspective where you're just watching football. Like, just watch the Green Bay Packers game from last year. Dead to rights, Chicago's going to get blown out. And this kid made some of the most ridiculous passes that nobody can make. I got big things for him in 2026. No doubt about it. Yeah.
But be honest, if we're going to talk about that, we have to talk about he was pretty bad in the playoffs. I mean,
against Green Bay, he was outrageous.
No, not against Green Bay. I'm talking about against the Rams.
Yeah, he's going to have his ups and downs. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, he was really good against Green Bay. Yeah. And look, they should not be throwing the football 48 times to me. I never have quite understood. It needs to be more balanced there, but he was not good against the Rams, and he had 3 interceptions, and he was kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Number 4, Joe Burrow. Same thing that Jeff said. When this offense is right, and he's upright in the pocket with his wide receivers and his ability to deliver, there's no denying the talent. And if you say to yourself right now, again, coming into this season, you want to make a trade, anybody for anybody, I can't even argue, Joe, or excuse me, Jeff, all the way through the top 5 that I have, that talent-wise alone, he could be number 1. He really could be.
I agree. Yeah. 100% agree. Yeah. I hope at some point, and look, the sad part about this professional sports and sports in general is we remember these type of players where you have this like generational talent and they just are super unlucky when it comes to injuries. But I mean, you know what's interesting about him is like he doesn't necessarily have the problem that like a Mahomes or Allen face at times. Yeah. Donovan McNabb had this problem when he was here is he really never had a superstar, right? Yeah. Joe Burrow has arguably the best receiver in the NFL there with him. So I would, and this is why every year the Bengals, we always give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they could win the Super Bowl because they have Joe Burrow. I just hope one season we get a fully healthy one because we've seen him, I think it was one season where he was just so good. And I want to see that again.
Next one, Jeff, you're going to like this number 3 on the list. People say, "Oh, Donnie, you're an Eagles fan. How do you do that?"
Come on, dude.
Dak Prescott.
Come on, Donnie.
Dak Prescott healthy. It. 2 of the past 3 seasons, he's had 4,500 passing yards. And again, I don't really care about the past. He's had a 4,900-yard season. But last year, 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4,500 yards. and maybe the best combination at wide receiver, at least the top 3 in the NFL, with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Coming in this season healthy, ready to go. I need Dak Prescott to put up statistics for me. I do. He's going to do it.
I have him 7th. Yeah. But I see your vision. Like
people hate on him. The guy is a phenomenal quarterback.
Let me ask you, and I think you'll agree. Like, if tomorrow I said, okay, you can keep Jalen Hurts on the Eagles, or you can bring Dakota Prescott here, what are you doing?
It's Dak Prescott. I would take him over. Because obviously I don't have him, Jalen Hurts, in my top 5. Of course I would take Dak Prescott over him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is a lot of people wouldn't, which is...
No, yeah, and I get it. There's intangibles that go into it. But when I look at a quarterback whose talent level exceeds, you put Dak Prescott in that offense. We're not saying he's going to win a Super Bowl. He do the same thing that Jalen Hurts did and sliced up Kansas City. Hell, Dak might throw those interceptions. But Dak is a talented quarterback with monster numbers in his career. And I expect him to have another good season with shot. 4,500 passing yards last year.
Yeah, and when you look at when he has full seasons. I mean, he had a season where he had almost 5,000 passing yards.
Yes.
4,900 yards in 2020 or 2019. Yeah. Again, does throw some interceptions at times, but I'm not as bullish. I'm not going to put him like above a Stafford or that, but I see your thought here.
Yeah, number 2, Jeff, and I think we're in agreement on this. Matthew Stafford. If you say you're going to start a franchise with the guy, no, because he's too old at this point. 2026, Jeff, I didn't even know in 2025 he'd make it through the season. He was having back problems. I'm like, man, this is going to be a disaster. He was the MVP. He was phenomenal. His offensive play call in Sean McVay is phenomenal. If he is healthy, which the expectations once again are he's coming into the season healthy, that offense is going to hum again, and you're looking at possibly 50 touchdown passes again. I love Matthew Stafford. The guy got his ass kicked in Detroit. Finally found a stable organization, and the sky is the limit. Has been dominant in an MVP, man. Love the guy. He's number 2 for me in 2026.
Yeah, you're not going to get much issue here. I mean, the only reason I don't have him at 2 is just because I have Mahomes higher than a lot of these people that you do. But, well, I'm surprised you're number 1. You do see, though, if I'm looking at, like legacy, where they are.
Legacy, you're right. Legacy, you're right. Because Jeff's list is a little bit different, like vision-wise than mine. Mine was just on 2026, and my number 1 is Josh Allen. Like, if I want a quarterback that can do it all, run, pass, big game, big weapon, freezing cold temperatures, warm temperatures, big arm cannon, and mobile, he's my guy. It's Josh Allen at number 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's no disagreement, but I think there's one thing we can agree on, okay? When the rubber meets the road, and everybody is fully healthy, might be taking Joe Burrow over any of these people.
I didn't see Joe. You know what the shame of it too, Jeff, is again, like we always get back to the Philly roots. Like McNabb until he got T.O. just had Todd Pinkston and James Thrash. Make what you can out here. Like, can you imagine if Josh Allen was loaded up with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? Now, granted, I know it doesn't work and it's a fantasy like league at this point. If you had Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua or A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, it would be different. But for me, the prototype quarterback in the NFL that you would build in a lab for me in 2026, it's Josh Allen. Just is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we've obviously know that he's a little bit more mobile. He's durable, that big body. Yeah. Look, that's a good list. I think, people just hate Dak Prescott, and they'll see that and say, Dak Prescott, where's Mahomes? Yeah. I think Mahomes should be on the list, personally. I think you still got to give the respect there. But I think Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. I've said that many times. He's
up there. He is. You get no argument from me. It's like he is a stone-cold killer when healthy on a good football team, which he's been for like past decade or so. It's just tough. And by the way, and also people say like haters and Jeff like that. Jeff didn't like Mahomes coming in, so you figure Jeff would hold it back on Mahomes like, I'm just waiting for him to fall off. Jeff's got him number 1. So people can change, as they say in Rocky, Jeff.
I think at the end of the day, there's really nobody on earth that when Patrick Mahomes is coming out of college, like I viewed him as an NFL player, but like
nobody saw this. I had him as a Hall of Fame. No, you did. Nobody.
And this is my issue with like media and the internet nowadays is like obviously people look at what I said about Hurts, but if you go back to that moment, the selection of Jalen Hurts in the second round, it ended up working, but it didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Same with Mahomes. Yeah. I've also said I thought Luke Falk was Tom Brady-esque. Another bad take. But I've also said that other people would be great and they weren't. So
yeah, we had them. Absolutely. There you go. Look, not much going on in the sports atmosphere. Now, granted, we do have some soccer this afternoon. And also, Jeff, Let's move it over to the MLB All-Star Game tonight. Now, as we said, for me, I don't handicap it because I have zero edges. I don't know who's pitching. I don't know who's hitting. And also, I tend to be an over type guy. Jeff, we all know really good pitching usually beats really good hitting here. Dude's throwing 100 all game long isn't my appetite. But if we do take a look at the odds, Jeff, the favorite is the National League at home at a -130 price here with Christopher Sanchez going up against Cease to start. And the total is 8.5. You see the lineups out there. Your vibe tonight on this? For me, I tend to just go, who's getting plus money? Just give me that side in an all-star game. It's really that simple.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that way of thinking. But again, if you find an edge with something, I would play it. I don't personally see one, at least for me. But I don't think taking the plus money is ever a bad thing.
Yeah.
You look at that lineup. I think we would agree that the National League has a better lineup. But there's some good little young players, small ball in the lineup. And I like Sanchez too, so I would probably lean out. But what will be in a inner or two?
Yeah, but you look at the lineups. And I don't want to be old man yelling at cloud because they're really good baseball players. But the Major League Baseball game, Jeff, for like 25 straight years was like everybody is a 15-time all-star superstar name, Hall of Fame caliber. And again, I'm not hating, but I technically am. I look at these two lineups and go, what happened to the game I love?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, I'm looking at this. So I want to explain, like, when I bet baseball, I'm not like Donnie where I'm not betting props and things like that. I'm looking at like numbers and the team and whatever. But like, let's put that back up on the screen for a second. Like, who in God's green earth is green? Like, who the hell is Langoliers? Who are
Jay
these
Langoliers, big time catcher out there for the A's. And by the way, green, that's your Tigers. You hate that lineup, man.
Yeah. Who the hell is Pages? Who are these people? Like, I know Soto and Freeman and, Max Muncy. But, like, Brandon Marsh is an all-star? That's insane.
Yeah, he's having really a good season, but you don't figure like that would be. And, again, you see the power spot there. C.J. Abrams. Most people watching the show, like, I don't even know who that guy is. He plays for the Nationals. He's damn good. But it used to be Bonds, Sosa, McGuire. Like, monster names
Griffey,
in there, man.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm saying, like, if you gave me 10 guesses – I couldn't tell you where Baldwin played. Like, I have
great catcher,
no
but
idea.
again, yes, there are a lot of younger. It's almost trending, Jeff, as the younger superstars are the ones making it. Which again, it's not about you're just getting blocked by a name out there because the votes come in. But Ohtani not being in, another big name at that point. Aaron Judge not being in it, another big name. You sort of bring down the star power, and some of the young guys get to shine. Now they'll put on a good show tonight, but also, just taking a look at some odds. Let me see, like, what else do we have here on some of these?
Donnie, do
you
realize that, like, I'm seeing a story. Do you realize, like, Brandon Marsh a year ago was in the minor leagues?
No, he wasn't. He was always with the Phillies.
No, I'm seeing.
I guess he might have had a couple of bats if he got
Brandon
injured,
Marsh spoke a ton about his journey over the last 12 months, going from AAA to an NL starter. But, like, I guess my point is, like I equate Brandon Marsh to, like, Zach Bond, right? Zach Bond, for like most of his career, was just like a good player for the Saints.
Special teamer, part-timer.
Yeah. Yeah. He comes to the Eagles and he becomes like one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He becomes an all-star. Like, Brandon Marsh to me was always like Eric Bruntlett, like some like utility guy who you'd like throw out there. But that's you got to give guys like this credit, because it's like you could get down on yourself. I'm just like a bench warmer. I'm a pinch hitter.
He's a platoon player, Jeff. He's a left-handed batter, so they wouldn't even let him bat against lefties for like 5 years. And they're like, hey, let me see what you can do. And he's actually provided.
He's like he's become like Jason Worth.
Oh man, good name.
My father, Donnie,
loved Jason Worth, or he
hated.
By the way, let me give you again. Look, Jason Worth, great baseball player. He looks like the guy that you would meet at a bar, and is just a complete ass to you. Just had that type of attitude.
My dad used to call him Jason Worthless. He hated Jason Worth. He didn't like Cole Hamels either.
Wow.
Which I never understood, because
I like it.
Cole Hamels was like, by the way, you see Cole Hamels slinging drinks at the All-Star game?
Look, bartender. I saw Livy Dunn as a bartender down there. Did she get any tips? By the way, would you tip Livy Dunn if she gave you a Stella?
I wouldn't even know who she is.
Oh, wow.
What does she even do? Who is she?
She's a gymnast from LSU. She's famous.
Oh, that's
for being
right. Yeah, she goes out with
Skeens.
What's his name? By the way, Skeens. You should start worrying more about pitching than your girlfriend. Because you know what he's starting to remind me of, Donnie?
Matt Harvey. Who?
Or Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah.
Because all these guys dipped into private stock. I still remember one of the greatest handicapping angles I had ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody hits me up, yo, Matt Harvey, he's in the dumps. He was never the same after that, Matt Harvey. Like, Matt Harvey's pitching. Like,
what was the issue then? He got broken up with? Who was his girlfriend? Famous?
Some famous girl, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Noah Syndergaard was another one. Like, whatever happened to him?
Just look, he had a monster fastball, then started to get injured, and it turns out, Jeff, he didn't have a monster. Same thing with Harvey. Harvey's supposed to be an all-timer and had a great start and just fell off the block.
Noah Syndergaard, Donnie, started believing he was like the Scandinavian,
Thor.
Urban
He's Holland out there.
Yeah. It's like he started, getting involved with podcast hosts, and then he was in Us Magazine every week. Yep. I'm telling you, man, as you said, when you're a professional athlete, man, women could be the death of your career, man.
Yeah.
Like, I look at this Anthony Edwards. Like, this guy's just knocking up anybody who will let him. Like,
paying out the wazoo.
Yeah, like, bro, like, I know we talked about Odell yesterday, but then I really looked into that situation more, and I said, what a fucking arrogant motherfucker. Buddy, you got people out here that are struggling to live, and you're fucking whining because $10 million a year you can't live on.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. Find a goddamn S&P fund, stupid.
Yeah. Just put it into something low, easy, and just cash in. And by the way, talking about cashing in, sometimes we talk about books, Jeff, and what they give out. Betting home run props in a regular season game, right? Hey, I'm probably going to get 5 at-bats if I'm the road team, and some of these guys absolutely suck. Like, Kyle Schwarber is the favorite at plus 350. Schwarber might get 2 at-bats, and it's like he's going to face, like, Tarek Skubal twice. Like, what are we doing with these odds at this point? Like, you might get Shea Langolier 6-1 and Bobby Witt 9-1, Trout 8-1. The best pitchers in the world are going to pitch to them, Jeff. They're going to get like 2 at-bats. Who would be taking home run props tonight? Like, again, angles. I don't have an angle, but I don't think there's value in these numbers. Hey, Brandon Marsh, plus 830. Ooh, that sounds good. He might get 1 at-bat.
There will be a lot of people on, Dub Club and all these winnables and stuff that will be touting home run props tonight.
They're horrible odds.
Yeah. No,
like, Schwarber should be 7-1 to hit a home run.
Don't get me started on bad numbers. I've seen people for years, pound their chest and they're betting a number at the worst. Like, you'll see a guy in the NFL, right, Donnie? Like, a number will open minus 6.5 on a favorite. He'll bet it at 8 and talk about how great he is when they win by 10. It's like, well, yeah, but at the end of the day, like, how are you that dumb to bet that number?
Yeah. Crazy stuff at this point now. All right, Jeff, there's the Major League Baseball All-Star Game tonight. There's soccer in the afternoon, and then we have to deal with tomorrow on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what tomorrow is? England, Jeff. But look at this. Wonderwall.
This wasn't going on.
Moving up the charts, Jeff, to number 2 on the Billboard. You're my Wonderwall. This song was made 30 years ago. Number 2, Jeff. World Spotify, because we like a good tune. We like an anthem. And England, the Tree Lions, continue to move, Jeff, pushing them up the charts, making them probably good money on streaming, by the way.
Yeah, this is, they kind of just feel good about when you hear this song,
Yeah.
They had a great song called Champagne Supernova as well.
Yes.
Terrific as well. Liam Gallagher, those
crazy.
guys.
Those brothers are crazy, man.
Yeah,
fought with each other, hated each other, came back together and did a world tour out here, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, you see this a lot, like when a star dies or something, like their music just goes crazy. But
yes, correct.
Yeah, I mean, this is the cool thing about streaming now. Yeah, it's a great song. I mean, even someone like myself, who I don't listen to that type of music, it's still a great song. It's well done, very good one. Where does that rank, Donnie? Is that a top 50 song for you overall?
Yeah. See, it's hard. Like I don't have my mind. I would generally. Such a good, because again, like, my eclectic music from the 80s and 90s would be permeated with, yacht rock and also rap, hip hop, and R&B. It's not a genre I love, but I do like the song.
See, I would say
I gotta say no. I gotta say no on my list, though. Even though I like the song.
I personally think Champagne Supernova is a better song. I enjoy like the little water at the beginning. It's like, it's very beachy to me. I think it's a better song. I think they're both terrific. I really enjoy hearing them. But yeah, top 50 songs of all time. Those are some great ones.
They were, man, back in the day.
I actually could identify my favorite song of all time. I 100%.
What is it?
Not a question. Well, I should maybe do a little list, shouldn't I?
Yeah, top 5. We can save it for the top 5. We don't want to give that out as the number one because then it'll blow the top 5 list for us here.
You would never guess it in a million years.
I know. It would probably be like something off Griselda Records that I never heard of.
No. It's not even a rap song.
Oh, famous song? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you would know, I would think you would know this guy. I think I've mentioned him before.
Yeah. Well, keep it there because we got to have information too. We're hearing now, Jeff, amazingly, you were right. I thought we'd have resolution on Friday by 5 o'clock on LeBron James. Quote, and I'll read it. I've talked to LeBron James agent Rich Paul, and he said LeBron has all the information needed. So now it's up to LeBron to make a decision. What the hell information did he not have over the past 6 months that he all of a sudden has now, Jeff? Why are we getting strung along by this diva? What's the deal?
Well, if there was an ability to bet that this will happen tomorrow or Thursday. It's going to happen tomorrow or Thursday. It's LeBron is a really
calculated.
This is why LeBron is LeBron. He's a very smart guy. Nothing going on tomorrow. Thursday'd probably be your best bet.
Thursday's the best day. You're correct.
Yeah. I'd bet that because tomorrow you have World Cup.
You want the spotlight. Yes.
Yeah.
You want
Thursday,
the spotlight.
you got nothing. Literally nothing is going on Thursday. Yep. There's no baseball. There's no World Cup. There's literally nothing as far as I know. I guess you got the golf, but this would be, if I could bet this at a time range.
I think there's only one baseball game. I think the Mets and the Phillies, Jeff, are the only Thursday game. Yeah, you break that at noon, while we're live on Crossing Lines. Yeah. That goes mainstream and is the hottest topic out.
I would do it between 10 and 12 on Thursday, Eastern. 10 a.m., 11 a.m. would be perfect.
Yep. Boom. Exactly. Give us some time. Let us get prepped. But if it goes live, we'll be able to handle it, Jeff. Now, we always talk about gamblers, you ever follow along with Drake? The joke is hey, Drake's got $1 million on Argentina. Well, of course, England's going to win that game. Steve will do it. Do you know Steve will do it, Jeff?
Yeah.
You got to know him. How about this? Managed to lose $4 million in 1 week from betting on the World Cup and had to sell $1 million worth of watches after going into debt, Jeff. The man can't get it right. Should he continue to double down or should you just give it up at this point right now?
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by this guy. I always wondered where does how does he make so much money? I've always wondered that.
Dad rich,
no
trust fund baby.
No, his parents are just they live in Florida. They're just normal people.
Jeez.
I think he buys his family. But what you don't understand about this guy, Donnie, he's done this for years. He has a YouTube channel where he'll just give money to people. He'll go up to someone at a gas station and just give him $20K. Listen. You young people out there, I can understand why all of you want to be streamers. I mean, that's how you make money nowadays. Yeah. But maybe gambling's not for him, or maybe just betting on soccer is not for him.
I mean, $4 million just in the World Cup at this point. That's got to hit home. But again, if he's betting that much, which means he's making that much, and it doesn't matter.
Well, then again, though, it doesn't. I don't know that he is because you just said he had to sell watches just to cover, some of those.
Now, what did he do? Have to take back the watches from the Mexican team that he bought them for? He's got to take them back, repoed?
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
I've seen that.
Crazy stuff. How about this one, Jeff? No surprise here because kids are expensive. Just in, U.S. women over 40 are now having more babies than teenagers for the first time in history. Over 40. It used to be hey, man, your eggs are drying up by 31, 32. Now, 40-year-old women are having more kids than teenagers, which I got to tell you, over 40, God bless you if you can have a healthy child at this point. But, having a teenage kid ain't something that we should be loving. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's your whole life ahead of you at that point. But back in the day, you graduated from high school 17, 18. You got married and had a kid that summer or had started getting on your kid. Not anymore, Jeff. Kids are too damn expensive today. Just too expensive.
Well, I actually think this is a pretty cool story. I don't have kids. I always envisioned if I ever did, it would be, 35 to 40 around that time. I know a bunch of people that have had kids around that age. Yeah. I look, Donnie, at life as two different ways. Okay. So from 0 to 40, you learn everything.
Okay.
40 to 80, you live.
Wisdom.
You use what you learned for the first 40 years to shape the rest of your life. Obviously, I think what you made the point of, obviously it being healthy, the child, because the longer you go, the more worrisome it becomes. But I would have to think at this point, we're starting to get to the point where it's probably more healthier than it was 10 years ago to do this. So I think as long as the kids are healthy, I mean, I would much rather have a kid in my late 30s, early 40s than in my 20s. I remember as a kid, how many kids in school had kids. I couldn't imagine that. I think you put your kid at a real risk regardless of your situation. You're a child yourself.
Yes.
Taking care of a child is difficult. And I think one of the reasons we are in the situation we are in our country is there were too many young people, too many families that got divorces or didn't work out. And it's hard for a kid to deal with divorced parents or a parent in prison or whatever. I'm all for, and I see more or less nowadays, there's more two-parent households. And I think that lends a lot to it. We also see there's other things like kids aren't drinking as much now. Like, I think that's good for society. Like, there's a lot of good things we are seeing that we don't hear as much about. We always hear the bad things. I think this is more better than bad.
Yeah. And by the way, you're right on a couple things here, too, because the social media age completely changed everything. Like, we didn't meet girls on social media in the 80s and 90s. We went to the mall. Like, you asked them out at high school. You went to parties. You were excited. Where it's like, I'm going to wear my best outfit because I know so-and-so is at this party. They don't do that. Swipe right, swipe left, which means you don't have any talking ability to actually have a conversation. Also, your point is fantastic on this one, too. The reason why people aren't drinking as much as they did in the past, it's simple, Jeff. It's not that the new age people don't like alcohol. Who's going to a bar and paying $15 a drink? Like when I was in college, Jeff, it was dollar beers, bottles of beer. $1. That's what it cost you. Now it's a fortune. You want to approach a woman at a bar now? Let me buy you a drink? That's like $45. Jeff, it was $2 when I was in college.
I'll tell you this. I mean, as someone that goes out every weekend, there's still a lot of people that go out. Trust me. Donnie, a show that would be really good? I mean, it wouldn't have to do with sports at all, but I could write a book about the wild situations that men are presented with nowadays from a dating standpoint.
I
don't think you'll believe, Donnie, some of the things you'll hear. I'll tell you right now, one thing that I do agree with you on, and this is really simple if you're a young person, and I'm talking about, if you're single between the ages of 19 and 40, if you are not financially stable, and I'm not talking about you don't need to be rich, but like to date a woman nowadays, truly, and it's rare. Maybe you find a girl that doesn't care, but it's hard to find a woman, Donnie. If you don't have a little money, she ain't fucking with you. Period.
They want your financial statements on the first date.
And I'll always tell you, the sooner you as a young man accept that, and I'm not saying you need to go out and buy her a Gucci purse and new Louboutins, but you have to pay. Like if you're dating a girl like for weeks and like she's looking pretty for you and you're not taking care of certain things, she's going to go find someone that will. And the sooner you realize, and that's the problem too, we are in a culture of something called simps, where simps have created this situation where they've set the tone for everyone else. If you don't do it, someone else will. Just saying. And if you want to, and all these guys want the hottest, most beautiful girls. You ain't going to get that through your good looks and your cool shoes. No, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do. That's Nadu out here. By the way, Jeff, you like swimming? Like I know you grew up around pools and stuff. You don't like the ocean, right? You don't like you like pool as opposed to lake and or ocean, right?
I can't. I'll tell you this, Donnie, and I'm being 1,000% honest. I can't tell you the last time I was submerged in water. I definitely wouldn't get in the ocean ever.
Yeah, it looks like the ocean from this picture, right? And I guess we don't have the full clip.
I don't know
but this is a guy, Jeff. There we go. Look. This is Niagara Falls, Jeff. He's swimming in Niagara Falls. And it says on the tweet, a guy swam Niagara Falls, went over a 170-foot drop, and walked out alive. I don't know what goes into people's heads, Jeff, but I like the ocean. But you know what I don't like? Going in over my head in the ocean. You know what? Let me stay here. Let me relax. In a pool, I'm fine in a pool because it's a controlled environment. You've got to be kidding me. I'm going to go take a swim in Niagara Falls, but start above the falls, Jeff, and go down into it.
Yeah, maniac. These like maniac people that jump off buildings and jump into water and stuff. Let me break down why I don't go in either. The ocean is just like I'm very but also like, but it's also like super like, we've only really looked into like 5% of the oceans in the world. Like
what's down there, Jeff?
Like,
what's down there?
Yeah, it's horrifying. I just know that if I'm on the beach, don't really have to worry about it. And the ocean, even in like fairly trivial places like New Jersey or Florida, like rip currents are crazy, man.
They are
like,
crazy.
I just throw in, I've often talked about this. I don't like my head underwater. I just, it creeps me out. Like shower's different because I can see and I can move my head around. I don't get in pools either. And that's more of like my mom's pool. That might be a little different, like no one really gets in it. But like, I find it so filthy to get in a public pool. Like, ew, no.
Get in the hot tub at the hotel?
That's the worst. Donnie, if you said to me right now, I'll give you $10,000 to go get in your local public pool, I would say no, not interested.
Crazy. But chlorine kills it, Jeff. Chlorine's going to kill it for you.
Dude, no.
Well, you don't like the kid that just had diarrhea and then jumped in the pool? You know what I mean? Yeah, he cleans it out.
And the thing about, and one of the things that why I only stay at high-level hotels is like, people are fucking scum, dirty fucks. Like, I know how dirty they are. I just don't want to. No, like I have Lysol wipes in my room. Like my room that's why I love the Wynn, Donnie Encore, because they clean it every day, bro. They're wiping it down, bro. Yeah. Another thing, this is how crazy, Donnie, I am. That shore house I got.
Yes.
I made it a point to make sure no one was there the week before me. I wanted it a week to dry out.
You're insane. You are insane, man. That's Jeff Nadu. Insanity at this point. That's what we get, though, man. They're the talks that we like. You like to be clean. I know that here. And your family had a shore house. You feel like, oh, hell, Jeff's out there surfing off of 13th Street. Nope.
Have you ever seen my, there's a post I have that went viral. I found this. It was in like Florida somewhere, Louisiana. It was like one of these like, you ever see those like hard, I guess it's kind of like the Circus Swim, like where all these people are in like a pool.
Okay. Sure.
And it was in like the middle of like the steep South. It was like people in cowboy hats and shit. And I remember commenting like, I would guarantee this is what hell is like. And it's like they were in there like, sorry. Like, you ever know that, that place Secrets? It's in like Ocean City, Maryland.
Maryland, correct.
I'm not kidding. You could not pay me like to go there. Like I would need at least $25K to even go there.
Yep.
Like I don't want to be, I don't want to go to concerts. I don't want to do any of that.
Don't want to do any of it. By the way, Jeff, we're going to end with this one picture which just flashed up there. Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, new offense, new look. They both got a couple cigs in their hand. Brokeback Mountain. Somebody had the chat. Coach said in the chat box, Brokeback Mountain.
Holy shit.
Superstars.
This can't be a real photo.
I'm telling you. Look at that, Jeff.
Dude, I'm just going to say AI on it. I've about had it with this Aaron Rodgers. Like, just so lame, cringe. I'm not a fan.
By the way, Jeff, you're an internet sleuth. Can I ask you a quick question on Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. Do we know if he actually has a wife? He says he's married. Nobody's seen her. That's impossible. That's impossible.
Yeah, you talk about
Where's the picture?
You talk about one of the ultimate weird people in history is Aaron Rodgers. However, here's what I'll give him credit for. He is one of those guys that I talk about. He is your, like, up until recently, because he's just old.
Yeah.
You talk about a competitor, man. Like, it really didn't matter what happened with Aaron Rodgers. He was going to come and just shred you, like, in his career. He's on, like, that Allen Iverson list where Allen could go to the TGI Fridays on City Avenue, eat a bunch of wings, get drunk, smash a hooker, and be there the next night and drop 60. Yep. Like, it never mattered. Aaron Rodgers is just one of those types. That's a weird photo. Like, that's all you're going to get in the comments. Brokeback Mountain. Like, what's, like, by the way, Aaron.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Like, you play in Pittsburgh. You don't play in, like, Oklahoma City or, like, Houston or Dallas. You're not in Lubbock, Texas here. Yep. We're not in Denton. Like, this is Pittsburgh.
Abilene.
Yeah. We're not in Cheyenne, Wyoming, bro.
Not about it. But you know what, Jeff? That's another day, another dollar on the show here. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Subscriptions going up every single day. Like, comment, thumbs up in the chat if you haven't done so yet. Follow us on social media. I'm Donnie Rightside, at Donnie Rightside. He's Jeff Nadu, at Jeff Nadu. We are Crossing Lines, at Crossing X Lines on Twitter /X. Fantastic stuff, as it always is. Good luck if you're watching the soccer game today. If you are watching the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, tomorrow is another day, and we'll see you back right here, same time, 12 Eastern. Good luck till then.